Michael Nies was in very confident mood, and well might the German. He has made a couple of changes, dropping out of the starting 11. Missen Dami, as well as Nakamba. A slight change of formation. They're certainly going for it. Two up front, Douglas Mapfumo and Terence Tizukamanja. So the two captains face to face. Namibia desperate to see their star man back amongst the goals. Well, Marshall Menetsi is certainly in the form of his life, and delighted to have him back in international football. So excited to have Shalile back in action. Can he get back amongst the goals? The big question. Also got someone who knows the stadium perfectly well, Dion Hoto Kavanji, a home player for the Orlando Pirates. They'll hope his experience will be a big difference maker in the match. Also clearly looking for more of a goal threat. Bethuel Muzu coming in to the starting 11, had been a substitute. Came on in the second half of the reverse fixture. So we're underway here in Johannesburg, the Orlando Stadium, the host for match day 4 of this CAF Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 25 qualifier. Zimbabwe winning the first leg of this doubleheader. If they do so again, they could be taking a massive step towards returning to the biggest stage in African football. But Namibia want to say something about that. A little bit too hasty from Muzu. 24-year-old plying his trades in South Africa with Black Leopards. Desperate to make an impact for his nation. His best form came in the COSAFA Cup when he bagged 3 goals. It's a long time to wait for a goal in a match of this importance, and Zimbabwe's most important player, Marshall Menetsi, coming down from high above. Warrior fans, as well as those of Reims, certainly worried how he landed there. Zimbabwe already missing Copenhagen's defender, Munase Garan Nanja. And of course, Nons Tino Karawere also unavailable. The Sevens trade balls there, but it's not Vukamanja who can take it with him. It's a physical start to the match. Colin Benjamin helping up the opposing player. Wing-back role for Jordan Zemura on this left flank, and Musona on the opposite one. Chance to get the ball in the box. It could be another penalty. That's certainly what Zimbabwe wanted. Down in the area went Andrew Ferrey Rinomota. The best of challenges from Tule Inashi Sua. And Michael Nees looking nervous energy of a coach who was supremely confident before the match. Of course, Kama Biliat with a penalty. Towards the end of the first half. Match day 3, the difference between these sides. Colin Benjamin felt Namibia had the better chances and control. Now they need to see some results. Well, they've got bodies flooding forward. Laid off. Well blocked though, as the shot was lined up by Dion Otto. Encouragement for Benjamin's brave warriors, and they're going to have to be brave today in order to make sure they remain in contention. Anything other than a win surely be the end of their journey. That's because they're one of only 3 sides without a point, along with Malawi and South Sudan. They've also only scored 1 goal. That was, in the end, a consolation from Otto. Deep in stoppage time, already 2-0 down at this stadium back on the 10th of September. Quick off his line. I'm sure he was too happy with the attention given. Washington Arubi, 39 years young. Back with Marumo Gallants after they suffered relegation despite reaching the Confederation Cup final a few years back. Now back in the top flight. Neat little 1-2, but the flag goes up against them. Just going that a little bit early, especially frustrated when he wanted to link up rather than get in behind. Otto showing his frustration. Of course, was written his name into Namibian folklore with the goal that beat Tunisia in the Africa Cup of Nations. As Washington Aruba got their first. Not sure he'd be too upset with finding touch, because it was not a pass back he would be that delighted with. Encouragement in the early stages for Namibia, but they just need to find that little bit of composure. Throw taken short. Really, Otto just popping up absolutely everywhere. Well, he was trying not to get confusion between the 2 players, but the ball for Anamub, say, flying out. Munetsi leading the press. Maova is blocked. In the end, harmlessly behind, but it shows great strong running of Munetsi. Mentioned for Stade Reims, every kilometre he runs, the Champagne Club donates €100 to his foundation, which helps young kids back home in Zimbabwe. Be 1,200 a game easily. You can see also 10% of his earnings going to the foundation. Well, a good call there, just kept him honest. The ball launched back, but no one was there. Namibia get another chance. Otto takes out the cross, but again it's a poor one. And Zamura can look up and play it down the field. It's a lovely ball in touch. Iliat linking with Musona. Now they've switched the play. Iliat wants it back, but the strike will be direct on goal from Mapfumo. And it's already looking like a very open, enterprising matchup. Muruira lumped high in the sky by Amutenya. Venezzi was still trying to go, but the free kick's gone against him for handball. He, at least for the moment, sees the funny side of it. Did seem to have a case, but this was the first big chance on goal for Mapfumo. But easy enough for Maova to smother. Oh, Mapfumo trying to make sure Zimbabwe don't feel missing Tino Karawere, although the not-forward hasn't actually scored for 3 years for the national team. Certainly has been a struggle for goals, but their defensive record is what is propelling them. 2 goalless draws, and that penalty win over Namibia means a victory today would take them on 8 points, just 2 behind Cameroon. And then they surely only need a further victory to make their passage secure, though they'll face that massive match with Kenya. But it's a long way from there. Namibia themselves know they can put the pain of this AFCON qualifying behind them, put them back into the picture. Of course, upcoming in late October, start of November, the African Nations Championship qualifying. Zimbabwe facing 2 legs against Eswatini. Namibia against Lesotho. The championship made up of players based in the domestic leagues. Great work by Marshall Munetsi. It's good advantage from the referee. He wasn't happy with the challenge. Gingerly back to his feet. Bruno Mota. It's another one to be let go a little bit. Petrus very late, but this was lovely play from Munetsi. It's great to see them out on. It's a fabulous pitch, and certainly inviting creative football. Much long, it's nodded away, played in behind, but again the flag brings proceedings to an end. It's the right type of idea from Museu. So far, Zimbabwe continuing what has been an excellent defensive record. Trying to get up and running, Otto. Oh, that's a much better flick. Oh, he just hesitated. Shalile might get another chance here, though. Cuts back, Cam Beripa. Petrus. That's a poor ball, though. Manetsi, though, sees it spin away from him. Namibia can keep Zimbabwe on the back foot. So Zimbabwe all in white. Namibia dark blue and red shorts and socks. It's given away cheaply. Now Munetsi just shapes it on to Zemura. Great little touch around the corner from Musona. But that's a real great recovery challenge. Ashiwa fully committed. 22-year-old making sure the winger wasn't going to get by him. So a chance from the first corner of the match. Hand up from Biliat. Flicked on in the near post, but too much elevation. They're certainly enjoying the early exchanges. Tension as well. So much at stake. Desperate to be part of the big party to be held across Morocco. That's the ball run there. Well, it's been a disaster so far, points-wise, for Namibia. 3 straight defeats coming into this one. But they are second in their World Cup group, just 2 points behind Tunisia. It certainly has been a mixed story for Colin Benjamin's side. The next fixture, the World Cup coming in March. And they'll face a trip to Malawi, or at least facing them. For Zimbabwe, certainly just be delighted to have the chance to be back involved after 18 months in the wilderness. Manetsi and others have spoken about how tough it was for that FIFA ban to impact on young footballers across Zimbabwe. It's a great take from Museo. Kamperepa thought about the early ball in, but they've worked it across Shalile. Got it into feet, but Muzua got it held up. Zimbabwe again showing the defensive solidarity. Maybe a try and keep them penned in. Jueza just bumped off it by Rinomota. Good strength to get shoulder to shoulder. He used his to great effect. Zimbabwe have had their moments, but Namibia, the moment just with that type of control Colin Benjamin was talking about, yet to create a clear chance on the goal of Washington Aruba. Ball into the midfield. Really strong challenge and great early ball, Munetsi. Well, the deflection there actually almost helped Zimbabwe. Bit of pressure now. Anamub can only find the man who scored the penalty winner. But Biliat almost finding the elevation. But Maova able to gather relatively comfortably in the end. Strong challenge. Takwara, though, gets it back. That's really well worked. Zimbabwe taking some good possession and then finding some space. Just held up, and that's allowed Namibia to get some bodies back. Munetsi round the corner. He's on the move, and he's played in, but just, well, he thinks there's a handball. Not a decision he's going to get, but it was beautifully worked. Michael Nies, their German boss, will be absolutely delighted, even if it didn't end up anything more substantial. Well, 2 down. Certainly coming together, not leaving either particularly happy. Trying to clear the ball, goal kick, the decision. It's both players clearly struggling. Well, Colin Benjamin having a great World Cup qualifying campaign, a nightmare in the AFCON. Whereas for Michael Nies, his first main role since leaving spell with Kosovo as a technical director, and then also taking charge of their under-21 side. He has previously been coach of the Seychelles and Rwanda in the early to mid 2000s, as well as a technical advisor to South Africa for a year. Certainly big job he's taking on, and for the moment it's going very nicely. Certainly you can see the full switch between the sides, because Zimbabwe doing great in the AFCON qualifying World Cup. They're bottom of their group with just 2 points, winless, although incredibly, alongside Nigeria as the two sides who have yet to win. Rwanda leading the group along 7 points with South Africa and Benin. Breaking through the space. Amutena lost it, but then won it back. Bit of movement from Museu, and to win them a corner. Washington Arubi just has a little look around. 3 blue Namibian shirts in the 6-yard box. Have to wait as there's a bit of hands. Low cross, well dealt with. Biliate did so well to try feed Munetsi. Sometimes just lets the ball run away from him. Can often trust his power and pace. And that time gave Too much of a head start for Hanamub. Long diagonal. It's a real great pick out. Better touch by Otto. Swings it in, but it needed a full head on it. Instead, he's flicked, and now Washington Arubi making clear that a change is going to have to be made. And it was in that collision not too long ago. What a touch from Otto, though. And digs out a great cross, but in the end, tough one to head on goal. Shalolile just glancing it well wide. Well, that's a real shame if it is indeed the end of the match for Brendan Galloway. He's played his whole career in the English divisions. Even had a spell with Everton in the Premier League like a 2015-2016 campaign. Since then, he's been with Plymouth Argyle, back in the second tier of English football. This was the coming together. So he and Tijio Essa in pain, and it seems like Galloway is the one who's paying the heavier price. Played in the same Everton side as the young John Stones, and also Aruna Kone of Côte d'Ivoire. 40-year-old still going strong in Turkish football with Sivasspor. Sadly for Galloway, Plymouth Argyle defender, doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue. So confirmation then, substitution for Galloway being made. On in his place, teenage Ademi. Teenage by name, 29 years old by nature. Has played in South Africa before, early days with the Kaiser Chiefs. Since then has bounced between Turkish and US football. Now it's Cincinnati in the MLS. It's just broken up the play a little bit. Zimbabwe just sees the ball get stuck under the foot of Zemura. That's a great take from Maova as ball was drifted in by Renom Ota. Shalolile just lost control there, hit the deck. Now I want to be in the middle for this delivery, but cross of Kamberpa blocked. Let's give it away cheaply. Biliat Does well to find Namibia. Real physical fight on there. But Matfumo, in the end, penalised for being a bit too aggressive, it seems. Going down, Namib. Clearly confident the decision was going to go his way. Thought about a longer throw, but drops the feet. Well, nodded down, but without much conviction from Tevu Kamanja. Namibia can't make the most of getting back in possession. Namibia certainly feeling some of the effects of battle between two warriors. Zimbabwe, the warriors. Namibia, this would argue they're the braver ones. It's the warriors from Zimbabwe. Even a draw this evening would keep them in a good position ahead of facing Kenya on match day 5. Of course, both the side know they will also have to face Cameroon again. Although, of course, the Zimbabwe Warriors earned a goalless draw against the Indomitable Lions on their home patch. Ball out wide. Musona. Oh, it's a really good ball in. Up he got. Matfumo won the header, but couldn't direct on target. Just bobbled up over onto his shoulder. Enough pressure produced by Namib. So goalless after a half hour here in South Africa. Zimbabwe against Namibia, 0-0. There's about another 3 minutes on match day 3 that Zimbabwe took the lead from the penalty spot. Again, decent enough ball, but there's so much the player heading the ball has to do to generate power and direction. And Museu, not the first to see a header glancing well wide. I thought about taking it short, but Washington Arubi now will launch long. Flick on from Matfumo, but he shrugs his shoulders and looks around for where the support was supposed to be. Both Masuna and Zuk Amanja. Shipish Shalule. He's pointing to where he wants the press to come. It comes a little late, but the ball's coughed up cheaply. Shalule somehow coming back out with it. Otto. Nice from Petrus. Juaza has a little look. It's Petrus who picks up down the line. Nice enough possession from Namibia, but they need a final product. One is yet to arrive. Oh, great. Little drop of the shoulder. Museo, though, forced out. Great tracking. Ota certainly not willing to give up his defensive duties. Namibia not too easily to get back on the ball, but they've gifted it themselves. Battling away with Biliat still on the turf here at Orlando Stadium. Out comes with the ball Zamura. Played it on early, and then that switch needed to be in front of Musona. And he points himself. Appreciates the attempt, if not the execution. Well, one meaningful save from Mauva. Ruby, not an awful lot to do. And it remains a stalemate here at the Orlando Stadium. High bouncing ball, bit of a wrestling match, but that's, well, initially looked really well worked by Tazuk Mananja. But the ball didn't actually go out. Namibia trying to find a way out. It's a nice idea from Shalalile. Unfortunately, no one was there, and then trips Rinom Ota. And the referee quickly across, but certainly hasn't had any need to flash any cards yet. Yannick Malala. Trying to use his body there. Eventually his presence pulled out the ball. Munetsi. Well, wasn't very happy with the attentions of Munetsi, but Tijuaza having a quick word with the referee. Just dragged the boot of Zamura. Clear foul by Cam Beripa. Here is the substitute. Number 15, Hadabe, having replaced the unfortunate Galloway in the back line. Offside flag just interrupts Namibia's attempt at an advance. They'll try again now. Having to protect the ball, though. This time, Minamota Just get a little bit too tight. Zimbabwe just trying to take a little bit of heat out of the game. Hasn't been too many chances. I certainly don't want to give Namibia any encouragement. Protecting the ball, and Tivu Kamanja earning the free kick, which is taken short. Munetsi finding his midfield partner, Unamota. Oh, it's a good attempt to try and cut inside Zemura, but couldn't keep the ball with him now. Namibia. Zeu thought about the early ball, lost it, and there's Namibia frustrated. A very stop-start match. Clear foul though from Petrus. Not one that's likely to make the highlights reel. Munetsi not shy to take a pop. Shalili wants to get on with it quickly, the Sundown striker. Gets the touch out of his feet, wants to drive through the byline, will get a corner. And appreciation from Museu. Good strength from the captain. Just wanted to ask a question or two. In the end, no danger taken by Takwara. So it could be a short one. Two blue shirts over in the corner. Referee just having a word as Zimbabwe try to protect the current record of yet to concede in this group. Deep cross, but easy take for Washington Arubi. The ball into Rinom Ota. A little bit of a risk there, but pays off for teenage Adebe. And suddenly it's Munetsi driving into the box. Cut back is a good one. And it is just wide. Flashed in by Tivu Kamanja. Wonderful play. It's that great ball to get Munetsi on the run. He had his head up. It's a great cut back. Question would be, could Matfumo stayed onside? Could have been a tap-in. They seem to misread. I think maybe the ball was going in. Huge opportunity wasted as we edge ever closer to half-time. Shilalile uses his body well. Oh, but he gets the cross all wrong. They're having a great time. But looking for a breakthrough. As yet, there is not one. Like the previous match day, a very tight, intense affair. Dionotto wants to just get on with things. Touch in time for Zamora, but not too much. Nice ball into Menetzi. Wants to get on with the throw quickly. Bit of header football. And Shilalile just heads it away from the action. Just clumsy from the attacker. So 2 minutes added on, the end of a battling first half. Occasional opportunities on goal, but overall very open, enterprising start has subsided for real bruising battle. Full focus on the ball. Bira. Certainly a sore tumble down, as we saw from Unetzi in the opening minutes. And that coming. And stoppage time is nearly halfway through. Dionotto just wants a little bit more urgency from his teammates. Looks like he's going to launch it long. Potentially the final chance of the half. It might be over if he doesn't take it soon. Eventually takes it short. The final ball. Much ado about not very much. Still looking for one last chance. Working nicely. Again, cross far too deep. But they will get another opportunity. That's much better. Good defensive header. Reverse fixture. Unbeaten and yet to concede. But Namibia, it is a must-win. One of three sides with 0 points. They cannot leave the Orlando Stadium without a victory. It is goalless. But will Michael Nees see his side put away the chances they failed to in the first half? Or we'll call it Benjamin's brave warriors find a way to get themselves in front of goal. They've had the possession, but now they need a finishing touch. Zimbabwe get us back underway. Goalless against Namibia. Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco next year up for grabs. And for Zimbabwe, they could take a huge step towards a return to the AFCON after enforced missing out through that FIFA ban, but back. And it really has been a very sturdy, disciplined return with Michael Nies at the helm, the German having overseen a fantastic AFCON, draws against Kenya and Cameroon without conceding, and then winning against Namibia with a penalty kick. It's a bit of a kick off the ball, the opinion of Mapfumo. Himself could have had a tap in after a strike across goal when Tezuka Manja was found by Marshall Munetsi. He seemed to get out the way. Not sure if there would have been a flag. Zimbabwe certainly had the best chances. Namibia now just trying to play themselves out of trouble. That is fantastic for Marshall Munetsi. And now they have a free kick in a very inviting position, all coming from the pressing of Zimbabwe. Kama Biliat got caught under Paulus Amotenya, and after a cardless first half, it's taken just 2 minutes for the first yellow card of the match to be produced. I'm not sure how much he could have done about it though. Kama Biliat jumped over him. It wasn't quite like Amotenya stepped across, but the end result is a very sore looking Kama Biliat. Certainly came a long way down. Zemura at the moment with the ball in hand. His knees look Song a little bit concerned. Well, discussions ongoing. Centre backs are up. Will it be a direct attempt? Discussions ongoing. Walter Masona on there with Biliat. Thankfully seems to be okay. Also standing close to Zemura. Is there a training ground workshop to come? It's a straightforward smash into the wall. Ruby. Oh, it's bounced nicely. The header from Mapfumo. Flicked on, and the ball is looping in! Zimbabwe celebrate! I'm not sure how much Walter Musona knew about the effort as it looped up, but as soon as it was airborne, it looked destined to nestle into the back of Edward Maova's net, and it did. The long ball by Washington Ruby. This is a great header. And the flick as well from Tezuka Manja. And then just had a swing at it. And it is looped in beautifully. Spin and curl. A little bit of header football. And then he's cut across it, probably doing him a disservice. It's a wonder goal from Walter Masona. Unconventional strike from the Simba Bora FC player. And the 28-year-old has given Zimbabwe a precious lead. It's his third international goal. He scored a famous strike against Nigeria that took the Warriors to a brilliant point. It was in the World Cup qualifying before Nigeria hit back for a draw. His last goal was an international friendly against Zambia. It's a third goal in 10 internationals. And what a priceless goal it could be. And for Namibia, it may well be lights out in their hopes of returning to the African Cup of Nations. The way the ball looped over gave the impression might have been a deflection, but when you saw it back behind the goal, lovely slice across the ball, and Edward Maova had absolutely no chance. Real energy ignited around the Orlando Stadium. The Zimbabwe fans absolutely delighted. Namibia now with the task of having to be the first side to score against Zimbabwe in this qualifying group. Ball round the corner, return to Zamura. The fullback drifts in field, leaves it to Marshall Minetzi. Wanted to get a bit more power on that to find Mafumo, who's looking a bit more withdrawn from being up top. Dionotto thought about an early delivery. Oh, thought about he was getting a 1-2, but it's a horrible miscommunication. Now 4 on 3. Plays the ball well. Zamura, but then the cutback. Well, he scored an outrageous opener. Not so good on the setup for Walter Masona, but quickly the men in all white back in possession in Namibia. They're going to have to dig so deep. For Zimbabwe, this could be a monumental victory. Well, Group J at the moment sees Cameroon. Oh, they're in behind. Maova able to get to the ball this time before Masona struck. Cameroon with 3 wins and a draw, looking assured at the top of Group J. And if Zimbabwe win here, they will be favourites to join the Indomitable Lions at the big party in Morocco. Namibia finding a very hopeful position to cross, but Otto not doing well enough with it. Complaints now from Rian Anamub. It will be a Zimbabwean corner. Ball swung into the near post area. Otto clears away. Tizu Eza gets a bit of luck and then fortune, and then on comes Peter Shilalile. Great strength against Runam Ota. But they need a better ball. There was so much space on the right-hand side. Menutsi get there first. Can't take it with him. There's certainly going to be a lot more space opening up, as Namibia will be forced to chase the game just as they had to on match day 3. That's just a second goal for Zimbabwe in the qualifying group. It's their first from open play, but in fairness, it was well worth waiting for. Well, the first task is really to force some action for Washington Arubi. Namibia failed to do that. Now they need 2 goals without a further reply. A trail by Musona's stunning looping effort that sees Zimbabwe in a very strong position, given they've yet to concede. Didn't give up on it, but the flag is up. Well, there's a bit of a problem for Kama Biliat. He came down from up on high after leaping over Paulus Amutenya. Had been able to continue for the past 10 minutes, but maybe the end of the match for him. And we've already seen Brendan Galloway have to be subbed off for teenage Hadebe. Although he's slotted in effortlessly to the back line that remains so resolute. This was the moment. It's really sore. See him fall that high and onto the back of his neck. Just very fortunate it wasn't onto his head. But Michael Knees needing to make a decision. It's not certain yet. It looks like he does want to come back on. Now driving run from Mapfumo. Oh, it's a really good ball. Oh, he's done really well. Zamura wants a penalty. Zimbabwe will get it. Everything is going their way. They have come out at the start of this second half and really making a statement. Well, the problem was the arms were close to the body, but then he's turned his back up off the arm. And now, with Kama Biliat, the penalty hero on match day 3, he's now leaving the honours to Walter Musona. He'd only scored 2 times for his country before this match. He could equal that in just an hour of this contest. Oh, it's a fabulous strike. And no chance for Edward Mova with either of his goals. And no wonder they celebrate. Leading the merry dance of the Warriors. Well, incredible for Zimbabwe. They beat Namibia twice back in 2006 and 2008, but otherwise it was 6 straight wins for Namibia ahead of this doubleheader. But the new Warriors are setting their own path, and Musona, with now 4 goals in 10 appearances, a brilliant brace, puts Namibia on the precipice. And Zimbabwe now look to be putting themselves up for a titanic match against Kenya. If this result holds, they could qualify for the African Cup of Nations on the 11th of November, when they will host Kenya, likely here. And how they'd love to get the job done before facing a trip to Cameroon a week later. The live table will see Zimbabwe on 8 points, just 2 behind Cameroon. That will mean they will be 4 clear of Kenya, with just 2 to play. For Namibia, they now see Peter Shalulile off, and it just hasn't been a good time for him. Yet to really get up and running for Mamelodi Sundowns this season. Erastus Kulula, 27-year-old, one to come on. Did score for Namibia back in July against Seychelles. Former national job of Michael Nees. But it's Colin Benjamin who is in desperate need of something that looks impossible at the moment. But that's why it's the brave Warriors who have to keep believing, trying to find that World Cup qualifying form. Forcing their way back. Poor touching. Waiting to come back on Petrus. So the brave Warriors currently down to 10. Not much of an option there for Tejua Iza. Gets a bit of movement this time. Oh, it's a lovely flick. The ball across is a good one. Just looking for that final effort. But Charles Ambira linking brilliantly with the inventive Dionotto. Well, he's worked hard. Douglas Matfumo will now get a chance to rest. And off comes Bilet as well. They're oncoming. Divine Lunga. Certainly has been a divine performance so far. It's another of the Mamelodi Sundown players. Unlike Peter Shalulile, Lunga looks like enjoying his night out here at the Orlando Stadium. Bobbling around. Well, also on for Zimbabwe, Tawanda Jethro Maswanise, 21-year-old attacker, plying his trade with Motherwell in Scotland after leaving his long association with Leicester City. But it's Musona with a double that has Zimbabwe on the cusp of Morocco 2025. Ball swung in. It's not the best of clearances, but very good touch there to win it back from the substitute, Mawanese. Will try to miss out. Zamura over the left back. Nice little touch there, but it's Namibia who come away with a throw. Well, loose arm there. Charles Ambira was the substitute actually for Zimbabwe, getting a welcome lacking in generosity. Lunga. So Musona scoring as many goals tonight as he had previously for Zimbabwe. What an absolute stunner. 5 minutes into the second half, and then once again Zimbabwe with a penalty against Namibia. It's enough for victory on matchday 3. Matchday 4 strike from Musona. Looks to have wrapped up this doubleheader after draws with Kenya and Cameroon. Looks like a double-header victory. Oh, this is fantastic. Zamura, though, eventually running out. Not getting the free kick he thought he might have earned. Lovely jinking run. Needs to get out of his feet. Strike well blocked. Uzeu trying to get it through. The body's on the line. And teenage Adebe there in the way. Ball out onto the flank. Time for the hero of the match, Musona. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. And he allows him to take on the challenge. Maswanise went down, gets the free kick. Looking an exciting talent, the 21-year-old. This is a great touch, though, from Dazuka Manja to allow the youngster to drive on. Catching out Cam Beripa. Well, they've had so long without international football. No surprise if Zimbabwe want to really enjoy themselves while 2-0 up and seemingly cruising. So a chance to deliver. 5 white shirts in and around the penalty box and 6-yard area. Short option available. In the end, very little to write home about from Musona. Often we've said that in the second half. Still be a corner. Chance to deliver now from Murira, but it's a take from Maova. Well, not allowed to block the goalkeeper kicking from his gloves. Thierry Henry had a famous incident on his Arsenal days of doing that. He scooped the ball away from the goalkeeper. This block from teenager Debe, and if he gets a booking, I guess he'll feel it was worth it. Referee seemed to lose something that distracted him from producing the yellow card, and now they're just making sure they get the right player. Well, he's really slotted in seamlessly since replacing the injured Brendan Galloway. So 2-0, and Namibia's spirit at the moment seems broken. They need something to ignite it back into life. But it's so difficult against a side who have yet to concede. The last goal Zimbabwe conceded was during the COSAFA Cup group stage away at Kenya. And they followed that up with a 0-0 draw away against Kenya. Since then it has been real delights. Those 2 goals, actually the only ones they've conceded the last 6 matches before tonight. Unfortunately, prior to that was the World Cup doubleheader where they lost at home against Lesotho and then away at South Africa. Fully committed, and just a collision there. Not for the first time Zimbabwe with a player down. Well, this, the couple of flicks, unconventional but brilliant. Cut under it. Motoring is Anamub. It's a really good delivery. Oh, it was begging for someone to turn it in. 3 shirts, no one able to read the terrific delivery into the corridor of uncertainty. Zimbabwe were posted missing at the near post, but once it missed there, they were able to see Lunga watch it behind. Bunetsi linking up. Zebura, oh, with a flag. comes late. Unfortunate for Maswanise. Such a shame. It's a great run. Just went too early. They could be in again. This time, the strike on target. Well, Maova with a brilliant secondary save when it looked like being a tap-in. What a hit by Jordan Zamora. Well, the left back now finding himself on the right flank. No difference to the quality he's produced. The 24-year-old London-born defender plies his trade with Udinese after leaving Bournemouth. And wow, he let that fly. He's already scored this season a winner against Lecce. And he's certainly impressed here tonight, along with his Zimbabwean teammates. And Washington Arubi getting a claim there, and you can see a defence putting so much importance on clean sheets, and now they've started to find a cutting edge as well. Last time these two met, it was just the single goal from a first-half penalty. This time Zimbabwe just really enjoying themselves at 2-0 up. So Prince Dube, number 17, heading on alongside Richard Hashiro. And off goes Terence Dezukamanja. So Prince Dube joining Richard Hashiro. Hashiro, 26-year-old, won the COSAFA Cup back in 2018 in South Africa for Zimbabwe. 26-year-old able to get the final stages of the match. Namibia, though, desperate not to give up, but Tionoto now with the armband since Shalulile headed off, able to take it with him. Marshall Manetsi in the break of the ball. Here is Zamora with the top from Rino Mota, but no one there. Ball launched down the line. The layoff didn't quite work out. Otto tried to clip it to Shidolo, but it didn't get to its intended recipient. Namibia do win it back. But that's great. Winning of the ball and then charging from Rino Mota. He's finally stopped his tracks, but he's taken his team up the pitch 30-40 meters. Brilliant lung-bursting run for the number 10. Oh, just couldn't keep it going, Jordan Zamora. Oh, that is phenomenal. What a challenge. Runamota. And oh, he just tried to let the ball do the work, Zamora. With Zimbabwe have been well worth their 2-0 lead. In truth, it could have been more. Well, this will just be a 5th victory since their return from international wilderness, Zimbabwe, July 2023. The first time they'll do so back-to-back in an awful long time. So Vitapi Ingaruka, number 14, hitting on alongside Godwin Salvador Aceb. They're coming on to try and cause a real stir, because Zimbabwe, through Masona's double, are looking very comfortable. Just feels anything Zimbabwe do is coming off. Jordan Zamora, Udinese defender, well, looked to go at his man, seemed to have the better of him, but then just stood on the ball. But working so hard to get back. Has a Calvin Bassey style about him. Fellow Londoner, plies his trade for Nigeria. Sore one there for Prince Tejeueza. And it's going to be a sore night for Colin Benjamin. World Cup position in qualifying may be keeping him in a job, but will be some concern with how results have been going. Good strength in the end. Oh, with a push in the face. Kamberepa letting his frustrations get the better of him. Marshall Manetsi over to protect the young striker. Maswanise maybe making a bit of a meal of it, but it was a clear push. Now the referee is the one who has to untangle the affair. Certainly a push in the face, but certainly no need for some of the theatrics. I feel like the referee just trying to diffuse the situation. Well, he was muscled out of it, the 21-year-old. The two of them coming together. I feel like Kamberepa wasn't happy about a little flick out. Now he has put his finger into his face, but the young man won't get away with that on the streets of Motherwell. The referee just taking any of the sting out of that situation, but that's Namibia causing their own problems. Zamora, Manetsi was there, but it's fallen beautifully for Dube. appropriately named the Prince, because he has crowned this performance with a third goal. 7 goals in 14 international appearances. He'd scored in Kosafa and Chan tournaments, but November 2020 was his last international goal in a 2-2 draw with Algeria in the 2021 AFCON qualifying. He had the easiest of tasks to finish off a great move. His 8th international goal, and it's come nearly 4 years after the last. But he couldn't have hoped for better after stepping off the bench. And Zimbabwe 3 to the good. Well, how they are enjoying themselves here at the Orlando Stadium. The last time Zimbabwe won back-to-back. Oh, they've gifted a goal! Well, there didn't seem much danger, but their record of not conceding has burst the celebrations just a little bit. A horror moment. The nodded header back from Gerald Takwara. Washington Ruby left completely exposed. And it's a simple finish from ASEB. But just a consolation in the end. Well, there'll be major frustration for Michael Nees and his team. That was allowed to happen, but I think they'll focus overall on the vast positives. Well, I was just going to say, it's not since 2016 that they'd won back-to-back AFCON qualifiers. But that was against Eswatini and Malawi. This time, they've done it twice against Namibia, a side they hadn't beaten since 2008. 6 straight defeats. But they are reigning supreme. Already into stoppage time, waiting for confirmation of how many minutes will be added. Not sure it's going to be too much. Well, a wonderful day for Zimbabwean football, considering what the nation has been through. Particular thought for the players themselves. Well, the last time, a strike there, Ruby dealing with comfortably. Well, the last time, Zimbabwe not wanting to give up any more encouragement, given still 2 minutes on the clock, but the strike in the end comfortably dealt with. Shidolo, the one trying. That's bounced kindly for Zamora. Lovely little spin. Eventually cried it out, but that's given away cheaply. High line, catching out. No love lost there on the far wide. And that is a brilliant slide, and Lungo comes away with it, but he gets a little excited. And Namibia are going to remain pointless. Their AFCON dream over. They had beaten 2 of the last 3, and a first ever win And round of 16 match was earned in Cote d'Ivoire thanks to Dion Otto's strike against Tunisia. But they will not be back at the big party. Instead, Cameroon are all but qualified, and Zimbabwe are not far away. Massive crunch game against Kenya to come. In fact, given only 2 fixtures left as Zimbabwe play Kenya, Cameroon will qualify, and Zimbabwe have won their way to hopefully joining the Indomitable Lions in Morocco 2025. They will face a crunch match against Kenya. They have beaten Namibia by 3 goals to 1. The brave Warriors losing a 4th straight match. Their AFCON dreams are over. While Zimbabwe, after international wilderness between February 2022 and July 2023, Michael Nees has led his side to 2 draws and now back-to-back wins over Colin Benjamin's Namibia. Well, it started with a quite sensational strike. Musona, looping effort, beating Maova. And then he would strike again from the spot just 11 minutes later, just past the hour mark, after a handball blocked Jordan Zamura's strike. And then, with a minute to go, Zamura with a great cross to end a flowing move. It broke kindly for Prince Dube. He wasn't to miss. The only blot in the Jotter book for Zimbabwe is giving up an avoidable goal to Namibia. In the 90th minute, Gerald Takwara, his header back to Arubi was read by Aseb, but it was just a consolation. Zimbabwe